for Women's Euro 2025. Watch live on BBC iPlayer.
Brand new Destination X, coming soon to BBC One and iPlayer.
Radio 4, the more you listen,
the more you see.
It's the 1960s, a new era of rebellion and hope. But one can't help but wonder if things have really changed. They say when history repeats, the stakes are doubled. The story of how Eloise Page shaped the CIA continues in the hit drama podcast starring Ed Harris, Johnny Flynn, and me, Kim Cattrall. Central Intelligence. Listen on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds.
We'll join BBC News shortly. First, will the weekend be stormy or bright where you are? With answers, weather for the week ahead.
Hello there. At the moment, we're seeing differences north-south across the UK with the driest, warmest weather across southern areas. Here we've got higher pressure. It's trying to extend in from the Azores, but to the north, we've got all these weather fronts streaming in from the Atlantic. That's bringing in a lot of cloud, and we're seeing some more rain as well. And that rain is going to be affecting Scotland and Northern Ireland, and some stronger winds as well will push the rain over the Irish Sea towards northernmost parts of England and Wales later on. But further south, it's not as windy. It'll be dry. There'll be more sunshine, particularly across East Anglia and the southeast. Temperatures could reach 27 or 28 degrees. It's going to be very warm. Quite a contrast with the 15 degrees in Glasgow, where the rain in western Scotland could be heavy for a while. But it does sweep through overnight, and this weakening weather front then moves its way southwards. It's going to be followed by a lot of cloud that's streaming in from the Atlantic. There may well be a bit of rain here and there, more especially across western areas. Not much though. And further east, we should break up the cloud, get some sunshine. And for Lincolnshire, perhaps East Anglia, and also into East Yorkshire, it's going to feel quite warm with temperatures around about 24 or 25 degrees. Heading into the second half of the weekend, well, we still have low pressure close by, and as it drifts its way towards Scandinavia, it's going to change the wind direction and draw in somewhat cooler air. We've still got a lot of cloud around, and perhaps the weather won't be as good for eastern parts of the UK, and almost anywhere could catch a shower or two. May well be a few heavier ones coming in across Scotland and the northeast of England, but we'll have that northwesterly wind. It'll feel somewhat cooler. We've got temperatures ranging from 17 to 22 degrees, which is near normal for this time of the year. As that low pressure continues to pull away, we change the wind direction to more of a northerly, and that will strengthen as well. So we've got stronger winds to start the week, feeding in these showers mainly for the eastern side of the UK. A lot of those will move away and out to the west. It may well be dry. There may well be some sunshine, but it's not really going to help the temperatures a great deal because we've got those brisk winds from the north. So for large parts of the country, it's going to be 18 degrees to start the week. However, it may well get warmer as the week progresses. You're going to find that low pressure moving away. The winds slowly ease down a bit on Tuesday as high pressure tries to come back in again from the Azores. Still quite breezy, mind you, down these eastern coastal areas of the UK, but it should be dry and there'll be more sunshine around here on Tuesday. But there is more cloud coming in from the Atlantic towards western Scotland and Northern Ireland. Temperatures though could get up to 19, 20 degrees here. With a bit more sunshine for the southeast, we're back up to the mid-20s on Tuesday. Now the Azores high is going to be trying to push in across the southern half of the UK over the week ahead, but we still have these stronger Atlantic winds coming in further north, and whilst there won't be a lot of rain, there will be more cloud around here and there'll be some patchy rain from time to time. But with the jet stream moving a bit further north later on in the week, we're going to be drawing in some warmer air across the UK. So temperatures over the week ahead should start to rise a little. Some rain across the north, should be dry in the south, and the really hot weather is going to be more towards the southeast, where we could see a heat wave by the end of next week and into the weekend.
Where the X am I? That's for me to know and you to find out.
Brand new Destination X, coming soon to BBC One and iPlayer.
Welcome to St. Denis Medical Center.
St. Denis Regional Medical.
We're like the Avengers, you know?
Boom! He's getting me! He's getting me!
We're not supposed to have favorite patients, but we do.
I almost don't want him to get better.
St. Denis Medical. Press red for all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
BBC One joins BBC News Now to keep you informed through the night.
It stays cloudy and overcast for some on Sunday, but heat is set to build as we go through the following week ahead.
Every composer knows when another composer is being influenced by their music.
The models wear costumes for men and women, inspired by outfits spanning the 8 decades of Empress Wu's long life.
I really wanted to kind of revisit my earlier inspiration and my career and like sort of once and for all own it as my invention.
If you can play this more Italian, think of like opera, Bellini opera. Think of like Maria Callas. More free. Yeah, more free.
As a writer, I care so much about the human imagination, about creativity, about our ability to tell stories. Just imagine our lives without storytelling. And I mean, it would be bleak.
Inspiring arts and culture on BBC News.
I think the first signs that I wanted to be a journalist were, as a kid, I started making pretend reports. I always liked asking a lot of questions. I've had a lot of different jobs in journalism. What I've learned is that it's always about the people. The wildfires was a story I was living through myself.
It is really hard to comprehend how life is ever going to get back to normal.
Going to bed at night, not really knowing what I was going to wake up to. Fires were burning right around us, so we were having to take split-second decisions about how to gather pictures and tell this story. I knew thousands of people were leaving their homes and were probably never going to get to go back to them. And in the middle of that chaos, I had to find ways to talk to people about what they were experiencing.
That was my house.
It's all gone. I think hearing one person's story helps viewers trust what they're hearing. Because when you can empathise, it helps you get an understanding of the bigger picture.
Now on BBC News, a global, topical, weekly show that lifts the hood on the entertainment and news business, exploring the companies and personalities who command our attention and how our perception of the world is shaped by them. The Media Show.
Hello, I'm Katie Razzle, and this week on The Media Show, Jimmy Lai is the Hong Kong media mogul in prison for the last 4 years. His son is with us in the studio. We're looking at an unusual strategy from Netflix. They're moving into live TV channels in one part of the world. And a gossip website dubbed the Trolls Paradise has lost a massive libel case. That's all coming up on The Media Show. But we start with news from the BBC's Persian service, because journalists working for it in London say they're facing an escalating campaign of intimidation from the Iranian authorities. BBC Persian is banned in Iran, where it says